Hello again, GLL back for another video. This is a For Honor beta-ish review. I'm not going to be very structured in this video because the game is simply not worth my fucking time. It is pretty boring, not a lot to say about it. You know, it could be anything. I want to start off by saying this is an Ubisoft title, and Ubisoft have become like one of the worst companies of all time. They were pretty bad last generation, but this generation they've just got their claws into everything with microtransactions and half-arsed games. Like literally nothing can come with just the basics. So they're a terrible fucking company right now. So the only game that I'm remotely interested in from Ubisoft right now is the new Ghost Recon. So we'll see how that is. Not sure if I'm going to get that yet or whatever. But this game is an obvious fucking fail. Now, I'm sure there's going to be some people that try and defend this fucking game, but the lack of content is obvious just from the beta. The fact that there's literally nothing. You know, it doesn't say coming soon, blah, blah, blah. You know, there's no incentive to buy this game. It's already got a huge season pass and whatever, so a lot of this stuff's going to be locked behind a paywall. There's obviously going to be microtransactions. There's obviously going to be all this bullshit. Before we even start the game, that's abundantly obvious. You've got your stupid card packs and whatever. It's just the same as every other fucking game that's coming out, but replace your guns with swords. That's it. You know, it had potential. It could have been like a Rise Son of Rome, but it's nothing like a Rise Son of Rome. Rise Son of Rome is like an awesome game. It's very fast-paced, fluid. There's action happening all the time. You're fighting hordes and hordes of barbarians. It's a lot more fun, okay? And the story in Rise Son of Rome and the campaign mode is better. I don't need to play this one to tell you that. The reason for that is this fucking campaign is dull, okay? It's can tell it's dull from a mile away. We've got a character here that no one's going to care about. It's a character that has no fucking face with a fucking helmet on. And this is the enemy. Oh, I start wars, blah, blah, blah. That's it? Really? Okay, who am I? Who is your character for the campaign? I'm guessing they've copped out, and instead of doing a Knights campaign and a Viking campaign and a fucking Samurai campaign, that you just have one campaign and you're just a generic guy. That's what I would presume from playing the fucking game. But this is a beta review, not a full review, so I cannot fucking possibly tell you what it's like, but I can give you my idea what it's going to be like. So there you go. Okay, let's talk about game modes. Another game that has 3 game modes. Now, this is just a beta. There could be more game modes, but as we know, the game's coming out soon. This beta dropped the same month the game's going to release, more or less. So, clearly, there ain't going to be much more to this game. There's 3 game modes in the beta. There's 1v1, 2v2, which is just straight up killing each other. And then you've got 4v4 Dominion or Domination or Territories, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And that's it. That's it. This game kind of has a Battlefield feel to it, even though it's a fucking game where you fight with swords. I know that seems crazy, but that's what it's like. So it just feels very, very dull. Very, very dull. It's all about grinding for coins, to get better characters, to get better loot, to get better weapons. You can turn off where, you know, the weapons give you an advantage or keep it on or whatever. So at least you can have, if you have a character that's bog standard, you can fight somebody who has better stuff without there being an advantage to health and level and stats and all that. But which is a good thing, but with the way the game's set up, I can't see anybody playing this for more than a fucking week and not getting bored. It's incredibly fucking boring. The actual combat system, I'm not a big fan of this combat system. where basically any combat system that relies heavily on the right thumbstick is generally a shit fucking system. We have all these face buttons to use, and they throw them all this shit onto fucking the thumbstick. So you guard up, left, and right by pressing this thumbstick, and it's just kind of fiddly. It is what it is. Some people might like it, but from my perspective, it's very fiddly, and it adds nothing to the fucking game. There's got to be a better way of programming a game like this to where it's more fucking fun. It takes too long to kill each other, I find. Like, the battles go on for too fucking long. It's so, guard heavy and taking your time. Very fucking overdrawn, like a battle against just one other guy. It's not action packed. There's no, oh, I've killed him, move on to the next guy. There's none of that. It's a very slow game. And I just don't think that suits this kind of game where you're a fucking Viking and you go out fucking killing people. It's just very, very slow. I would like to see a game mode where, it's easier to kill people. Maybe a game mode where you can respawn. This is all kind of ideas. I'm sure you could probably respawn in 4v4. Don't know. Didn't get it to play it because it wouldn't fucking load. But I did play 1v1, I did play 2v2, and I was impressed. Territories is not really my thing, so I'm not missing much there. I would just like to see a normal mode. But in actual fact, I just don't care. The game is boring, so I will not be picking it up. A mate of mine was really hyped for this game, and I could not for the life of me work out why. And I still can't. He's just obsessed with, old time, samurais, Spartans, all that shit. He loves it. He loves fucking, old war and new war and basically anything to do with war, And, there are people out there like that just like the fucking fact that you're playing as a fucking Viking or whatever. And I can understand that, but there's got to be better fucking games out there where you can play as a fucking Viking. I'm just saying. And if there isn't, just go play Rise of Rome, play as a Roman, and kick some fucking ass. Because that game is way fucking better than this. It's not even close. There's going to be people, and I know there's going to be people who watch this video that try and tell me that Rise is a bad game and this is way better. Well, those people are just crazy. Flat out crazy. Just nonsense. Absolute nonsense. And I know the combat in this is completely different to Rise, so they're not even really comparable properly. But that game is just better simply because of the graphics, the fact that the story is clearly going to be better. The music's clearly going to be better. The music in this is just dry, dull. Even the menu music is just like... Like, driest fucking music ever. That's not hype. That's not how you do it. As soon as you fire fucking Rise up, you get a load of fucking trumpets, and it's just epic. Like from the off. It's like, compare that to... It's just dull. The game, it's a sleeper game. It's a game that's going to send you to fucking sleep. That's what it is. That's what this game is. It's terrible. I think you could get decent at the game if you put enough time and effort into it, but it's not what kind of game that appeals to me that I'm going to spend all that time doing that. So, like I say, with the fact that it's got a fucking ridiculous season pass that's like going to make the game double the cost. It's got a deluxe edition which has fuck all in it. Just trying to nickel and dime left and right, microtransactions. It's a loot based game, which generally is suck. Yes, there is loot to get in Rise. It's nowhere near as bad as this. Rise wasn't exactly, on Rise you could probably get all the stuff within a matter of fucking days. It's not difficult to unlock stuff in that game. It's definitely very easy to level up in Rise. This just seems like you've got so many different character classes, and you have to get all individual fucking weapons and everything for each individual class. And also the fucking system for like you have like this big planet side style things where you choose a faction and then you war for that particular faction, but you can use any character for that faction. So you can work for the knights while being a Viking, but if you do that, then you will get rewards for a knight. So you'll get like knight helmets, knight swords, but while you're playing as a Viking. So that's just stupid. Why would you do that? And then how are you going to play with your friends if they choose a different type of character to you? It's just got too many holes, this fucking game. Too many fucking holes. If you're playing as a knight, you should have to play for the fucking knights. It's as simple as that. It should be based on what character you use as which fucking faction you fucking war for. That should be how it works. It should just be stuck to the character, not to your fucking profile. Makes no sense. You know, the best thing about the game so far is the fact you can customize your emblem in the corner of the screen. I'm just saying. So I'm not going to go into much more detail than that. That's my quick thoughts on it. It's a very boring game. All of the content's going to be a lot behind the season pass, full of microtransactions, no real incentive to buy it at any point in your fucking life. There's way better games out there right now, and in the past and in the future there'll be better games than this. Not worth it. Probably going to get a lot of hate on this video, but the fact of the matter is it's shit. So feel free to subscribe. See you later.